3, 2, 1.
And we're rolling.
And we're live. How are you doing today, guys?
Pretty good. Welcome to Chakra OutLoud, where we say what we say.
And you don't get upset. So we don't have intro music today. I'm on this side today. John is not with us. So it's just me and Smiley. Today we have some fun in store. I know we're both a little tired.
My dude Jay.
Smiley's been up painting all day. I'll let him talk about that.
Yeah, so obviously New Year's resolution. I'm really taking it serious. And I plan on doing 10 complete paintings this year. And so far I've been sticking to it. So, you know, even though I have those days that I really work, I go home and as soon as midnight hit, I start painting till 4, 5, 6 in the morning. And then, you know, deal with the kids in the morning and then come to work. So this is repetitive. So I'm a little bit down. I'm not gonna take no energy drinks. I'm just gonna like raw dog it today.
Yeah, roll with the natural black face.
Yeah, so I'm just, you know, exhausting, whatever. But this is hard work, right?
Yeah.
You wanna make it somewhere, this is what it takes.
You gotta put the work in. I'm definitely sticking with the New Year's resolution right now, which is no excuses. So I was gonna go to the gym at 6 in the morning. Woke up at 4:30. I was like, fucking, I'm already up. Let's go. Went. Maybe because I haven't been in the gym in like 2 months, bro. I got back home, my stomach was like, it was turned over, bro. Then my brother missed the bus. I had to take him to school, so I definitely with a little rush of the morning. But I definitely can't wait to see these paintings. I don't know if they're gonna see the painting at some point in time soon, but
yeah,
from what I've seen, they're amazing. They're beautiful.
They're gonna be pretty litty.
For anyone that's come into the shop before, if you've gotten tattooed by Smiley, you know the conversations. They're definitely a head scratcher sometimes. He'll definitely get you thinking. Today's episode, we're going to cover conspiracy theories. I think first off, we should understand what a conspiracy theory is and where the term came from.
Oh, well, the term conspiracy came from the government, the United States government, trying to conspire against its own people. So after John F. Kennedy did the speech that they shot him, the CIA created the word conspiracy theory. For anybody that's trying to have allegations against the government, they'll call you a conspiracy theorist. So basically making people think that what you're saying is not true because it's just an allegation.
Yeah. Which that in itself just shows you how much you know about the topic. I think one of my favorite, not one of my favorite, but definitely the ones I learned when I first got here was the Adrenochrome. Is that what it's?
Oh shit, the Adrenochrome.
Where
you gonna even start it,
Would you consider that a conspiracy as well?
I'm sleepyhead. it's a fact. I can't even say, because you know what I am? I'm a conspiracy realist. Because it's not a theory. It's not some shit I just woke up thinking like, hey, I think this is how this is working.
No.
It's like, no, I've done plenty of research on a lot of topics. I've been doing research since I was 13. I got interested and I had this book from David Icke. You need to search him up. So David Icke put me onto a lot of things, and I had this huge thick book that literally described everything the government has been doing for centuries, and you know, it sparked my interest. And then from there, I started picking up different books, videos, and I started learning more and more. And I'm like super deep into the rabbit hole where I know enough of a lot of things. So Adrenochrome is a pretty gnarly thing because we have this gland in our body called the adrenal gland, and what it does is produces adrenalized chrome, or it adrenalizes your blood, and once it adrenalizes your blood, from your blood you produce adrenochrome. So what adrenochrome is, basically it's what keeps kids looking young. So when you see a kid running back and forth and they have all the super energy and their skin just looks so young, is because their body's constantly flowing with adrenochrome, where you tell the kid, stop running around, stop messing around.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we don't understand it, because the older that we get, the less adrenochrome we produce. And the only way to produce some of that adrenaline is either to be speeding on your car, going to a roller coaster, skydiving, doing something very exhilarating that'll kick up your adrenaline gland into producing a lot of adrenochrome. So yeah.
David Icke, definitely an interesting person. I just looked him up, like you were talking about him. From England, he used to play soccer. He was a broadcaster, and now he's known to be one of the biggest.
He's not allowed to be in America either.
Yeah, really?
No.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, because of all the shit that he speaks. Because he speaks against the government.
Yeah.
And
our government, or just governments in general?
Our government.
Yeah. Okay.
In general, yeah, our government definitely. So David Icke is the man, and he put me onto a lot of shit. And back to the, I guess, adrenochrome shit. The most potent adrenochrome is with kids. It's inside kids that are under the age of 9. So what happens is there are wealthy elites billionaires, millionaires, whatever you want to call them, celebrities that do not want to get old. They want to feel immortal, and they want to keep their youth. So what they do is they purchase this drug. So it's 2 types of drugs. It's 2 types of way of doing it. Is clean users, and then you have raw users. So the raw users, what they do is they purchase kids under the age of 9. They torture them, they sodomize them. So when they sodomize them, the kids have blown force trauma to the eyes, which makes them look like a panda. So they call these kids pandas because their eye sockets are really dark from them being sodomized. So anyway, these are the raw users, and they put them in cages, they beat them up. They have other kids watch one kid get tortured. So then their body is constantly flowing with adrenochrome. Yeah.
Their adrenaline's like pumping.
They're scared.
Yeah,
so
they're
so they're trying to make the body pump as much adrenochrome as possible.
Yeah.
And once the kid comes into a state of shock where the kid is not crying, screaming, or anything because they're just shocked from the pain, that's when the adrenochrome has been fully distributed throughout the whole body, and their body and their body is like flowing with it. So what they do is they either cut the neck, or they use like, it looks like a metal straw, and shove it up the nose, and they take a glass, and all the blood that's pouring, they actually drink it, all the adrenalized blood, and it helps them keep, the energy inside their body strong, and keeps them young. And because it has a lot of coagulants that keeps you looking obviously young, just like kids.
I believe it. The thing that made me believe it was the Justin Bieber video he told me to watch. When he was wearing the all pink and he was sitting at the dinner table, he was explaining to me one of the stories, and then told me to go home and watch that video, and I did. And with that story like in mind,
then you saw everything.
Yeah, literally. I was like, what the hell?
It's funny because you can see the video and not think about it. Not notice it.
Not notice a single thing.
Just Justin Bieber. But once you know something deep and then you look at the video.
Yeah, that shit, I had to take a step back.
Then you step back, you're like, oh shit, this shit is fucking real. You know what I mean?
Alright, before we touch on a more current conspiracy, let's get one of the biggest conspiracies, I guess you can say, out of the way. Landing on the moon, fake or real?
It's completely fake.
Yeah. Think so?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people don't know this, but it was actually done in a studio, and the studio is Disney Studios. A lot of people don't know this. Disney owns 51% of NASA. And at the time, there were 4 people that were involved in the fake moon landing conspiracy, which was Walt Disney, Ron L. Hubert, Aleister Crowley, and Warner Van Braun. So these were all Germans, all these 4 guys. So Walt Disney had the power of media because he already had cartoons all over, so he already had the connections. Aleister Crowley, another German, which he was one of the most wickedest Satanists that there is. So he used to apply magic, cast spells. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So back in the days when they used to cast spells on one person or 2 people, they used to do, their little magic and even look through a mirror to see who they're trying to cast a spell to. Right now, the word has changed from cast to broadcasting. So when you broadcast a show or TV, they're trying to cast spells on a broad audience, more than just one.
That's crazy you say that.
Yeah.
That's crazy you say that. 'Cause just for the next conspiracy, are you wrapped up on this one? Because this one's interesting to me. COVID-19, manufactured by the government, pushed by the media.
Okay, so let me tell you what this COVID-19 is, right?
And it's crazy you said broadcasting and Walt Disney with the media and stuff like that, because I was reading this and I'm like, okay, so it's saying the government made it, and then it's saying the media got it out there. Like it's kind of a figment of our imagination just because it's such a man-made thing, but it's also like it's messing some people up. So this one definitely had me a little into it.
Yeah. Okay. So the COVID-19 thing. Yes, it's like a new flu or a new sickness, whatever. Actually, because I had it, right? But I need you guys to understand, like, what was going on in the Trump administration when they were trying to uncover all these pedophile rings. Once it started knocking people out, Jeffrey Epstein got caught, all these motherfuckers from Hollywood started going down. Tom Hanks moved to fucking Greece at the time COVID was going on, because he was also part of the whole pedophile ring. So he left from Florida all the way to Greece, and he got a Greece citizenship. So just in case something happens, he won't get sued or locked up or whatever case. Now what happened was the ring was so big that it was led into Wuhan, China. So what I was saying before about the dirty users was the ones that they buy kids. So what happened is Obama put this camp or facility down by Mexico. When people used to come in with families, he used to process them and separate the family and separate the kids. So now Trump, when he was in the administration, the media twist everything around and say, you know, that Trump actually hates Spanish people and he's trying to send them back, he doesn't like immigrants, whatever. That's not the case. What Trump did when he created ICE was create a facility where he could protect the kids that were inside these facilities, because believe it or not, what ICE really is there were people coming from El Salvador, men and women coming from El Salvador and Ecuador, and they were going through Mexico stealing kids, and when they come to the facility, they were selling them for $15,000. There was a group of 26 Marines that used to take these kids from this facility, take them to California and sell them to the celebrities that asked for them for tons of money.
Wow.
Yeah. So the media spun it around and say, you know, Trump hates Spanish people and all that. It wasn't that. So when you saw on the media where ICE were pulling people out their house and these Mexican families, whatever, they were coyotes. They were human traffickers that they were bringing out of their house and sending them back to Mexico or getting them locked up. Yeah. But the media's not going to tell you that. So what happened is, now back to the clean user. Clean users are celebrities or elites that buy a little flask that costs $1.2 million, and it's called pink adrenaline. It's not called Adrenochrome, because if I'm going to ask for that shit, they're going to look at me kind of weird. So I asked for the pink adrenaline. It costs $1.2 million. It should last about one to 2 months. It helps them stay young. The energy is absurd because it's more concentrated. And now people ask, okay, where do you get this drug? Who produces the drug? Well, when all these kids are missing, 500,000 kids a year in America, they send them to Wuhan, China, where they extract the drugs from their body and turn it into an actual drug and then sell it back to America. What happened was when they were getting exposed, and even if you turn Wuhan backwards and flip the W, it means human. So it's like human China, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so what happens is once they were getting caught up in the whole pedophile ring and all that, and that they were distributing adrenochrome in flasks, then they had to launch this COVID thing in order to detour or distract the rest of the humans from thinking that this was going on. I got videos of...
Yeah, I was gonna say that's where it all like started, was in China. Because I remember when I went to my college visit, literally before all this happened, like in the hotel room, I remember seeing like on the news like, oh, something about a vampire, or not a vampire, but like a bad vampire getting bit or something, like someone got sick. It was just so random, like, and it was just the main premise of it was China. Like you literally saw like, you know how we were talking about like on the news, we were watching the interview yesterday, how they had the words at the bottom, like they bold what they want you to say, stuff like that. Like it was mainly just China. So that's.
And it's funny that he's saying about the bat and the biting stuff, because everything that these elite do there is very metaphorically written and shown. It's just like the Freemason, everything they do is in reverse or hidden in plain sight, but it's there. He just mentioned the bat in Wuhan, China and all that. That's another metaphor for a vampire, and that's another metaphor for bloodsuckers.
Yeah, that's why I said vampire first. I was like, not vampire, but bat.
Yeah, but he's absolutely right. So if you guys remember what happened in Lebanon, that fucking huge facility blew up and it almost looked like an atomic bomb. In Lebanon too, they were trafficking kids. So they blew up that facility before they got caught up on the same shit. So there's a lot of things that people don't know. They used to be researching. Don't take my words from it. You know what I'm saying? I did my own research and I came to my own conclusion, and I'm pretty aware of what's going on. If you guys say that I'm lying or whatever, that's pretty cool. Just stay asleep. I don't mind. I'll give you 2 pillows.
Alright.
Yeah.
He said stay asleep. Alright. Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, creatures as such, are they real or fake?
They're just distraction. I can't say the Loch Ness Monster is fake because there's different creatures in this world, and not only in our space, because this goes into the flat earth, because there's different seas besides the ones that we know that's in the middle. There's different, so when you have these different seas, you have these different creatures. Like for example, the Loch Ness Monster, which is really a leviathan, is a very mythical creature. It's a sea serpent. So these live on the outer realms. Once I start explaining like the flat earth, then it makes more sense what I'm speaking about.
That would literally be a whole episode in itself. And we don't have Mr. Go here right now. Him and Go would go for like 2 hours.
Yeah, Bigfoot was just something to entertain people. It was just like the times all these UFOs were coming out. And back in the days when all these UFOs were shown on TV and all that, what they were is drones that we have now. Now we know them as drones. We didn't know what the fuck it was back in the days. You know what I mean? Because if you notice, time has changed, right? Everybody has new cell phones. We got 4K, 8K cameras, right?
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that the new UFOs videos that are popping up in 2022 looks the same as the videos in the 80s and the 90s? You mean to tell me that if his phone has 8K, 4K, or 8K, you mean to tell me the military doesn't have a better camera to take a really good look at what they're looking at? If you notice all these videos,
recorded like an Android. Or
yeah, right, all blurry. It looks like Minecraft. So like when you're looking at these videos, the UFO's always far away. They can never zoom into it. They have this camera called the P900. It's by Canon. It's or Nikon, a Nikon P900. The zoom power on this fucking camera is ridiculous, and I have not seen one person use this camera in order to zoom into a sighting of UFO, which is gonna be rare. But the UFO thing is our government too. They're planning for UFO invasion. You get what I'm saying? Because the process behind an invasion, people be like, well, what are they going to do that? Well, total control, right? Because if once they have inflict fear on you, it's easier to control a group of people that's fearful of something. So if I have 15 people in a room and I have a fucking rifle and a shotgun, they're scared, and I tell you, stand right there, they're going to do it because they're scared. You know what I'm saying? So if they make Americans scared, they're more complacent. They're going to listen to whatever the government says. The government says, we need to go to this concentration camp. We need to go here. People will be like, okay, because there's aliens, not knowing that it's them.
Not for just messing with them. That's crazy. All right, with the movie just coming out, probably one of the last ones before we head to the midtime. Matrix, are we currently living in it? Or
yeah, so what the Matrix is just a set of rules, right?
Hello.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi,
Come. No, you can't get the keys to the car until you be on the camera doing this. Conspiracy theories, right here.
Everyone,
I think not, because I married her. It's not a conspiracy. People be like, "No, you didn't." I did. All right.
Can I have the keys to the car? Thank you.
All right. What were we saying?
Are we living in the Matrix?
Yeah. So what the Matrix is just a set of instruction, a set of rules. So basically, put it this way: what's a set of rules? When you step back and you know what I'm talking about, you get to see it when you go to New York. So basically, I used to work in Church Street in New York, downtown Manhattan, and what happened was I used to work for IBM. So I saw the movie The Matrix, and I was quite aware of what they were talking about because of David Icke and everything that he exposed. So when I'm going to work, there's literally the escalators, that goes up and one's down. There's people dressed the same black suit. Their purse or their thing is on one side.
Yeah.
They're all looking up and they're all going up the stairs, and then there's some coming down. When you step back and you separate yourself from the corporate industry and you're looking everything like a simulation, you understand that these are a set of rules that were given by the government in order for, it's like almost like looking at ants. Ants don't have free will. They have to do what they have to do for their colony. So when you go to New York and you see like Wall Street in this area, everybody, when they get out of work, they get out of work at the same time. Everybody walks towards the train. Some people walk somewhere else, but you could see how everything is uniform, coordinated, and that is a set of instructions that you don't see. Now, if me and him are walking behind these people, and these people are going to the train and going down and some going up, and we decide to pick up a quarter, or we decide to go get something to eat before the train, we're not part of that simulation. But you're not conscious enough to know that you're not part of it. You just thought to yourself, I just wanted something to eat. But you were gonna be part of it because you were gonna go down. You know what I'm saying? So
the one before we head out, I can't remember the name of the pod. Probably clipping it right here. Shout out to them. When I saw this on The Matrix, kind of reminded me of theirs. They were like, if you live in the Matrix, everything that you see, everything that you do, it's going to be sort of a positive. Like, you're going to want to have to get, not a rush out of it, but like, there has to be a reason for it. Like, here's a perfect example. You don't see your neighbor bringing in the groceries. Like, have you ever seen your neighbor bringing in the groceries? It's not something that interests you. That's something boring. So the day that you see them bringing in the groceries, now they're in your simulation. Now you think about them. Now you wonder about them. Now you see them more often. Like, you ever see someone for the first time, and then now all of a sudden you see them like every single day.
Yeah.
That, like, he was like, when he said that, he kind of made it seem that way. I was like, yeah, that low key is crazy, because I don't know. That's probably one of my favorite conspiracies, The Matrix. But covered a good topic of it, good line of it.
By the way, The Matrix was created by this African woman.
Did you see the movie?
I did. I see. Not the last one,
Yeah, no.
but let me tell you her name because it's very important for you guys to know this. Okay. It's not by. Can you give me the two brothers of The Matrix that they're now trans and
The producers?
yeah, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put you guys on because this is completely unfair, especially to this lady. I have it here.
The Silvers?
Yes.
12 Silvers, I think.
So they didn't create The Matrix.
They got, I think it's Joel Silvers and the production company Silver Pictures.
Yeah. So, man, now I'm trying to look for this shit. I should have been a little bit more prepared. But it's important for you guys to know who this lady is because she was the originator of The Matrix.
Mhm.
Not only did she create The Matrix, she also created Terminator. They stole her idea from her.
Are you talking about Lana Wachowski? I can't pronounce that last name.
Wachowski?
Yeah, Wachowski maybe? Is that what you're talking about? 54, occupation, work, yeah, the Bound the Matrix.
No. The Wachowski brothers, fuck them, yo.
No, I think these are...
No, they did not create it. They're not two African women, dude. They're two white guys that became trans
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, these are two,
and
like,
took the
oh,
money.
okay, I was gonna say, because it's Lana and Lily, I was like, what do you mean?
All right,
these are
search
chicks?
up that African woman
Mhm.
that created The Matrix and is now in a lawsuit. And she's suing for her idea. She didn't get no fucking money, and they created this movie.
Sophia Stewart.
Let me see.
Sophia Stewart suing Warner Bros. The studio that released a movie over a story she claims she used the basis of the mega hit The Matrix.
Yes. Yep, that's her name. Sophia Stewart, African woman. She created The Matrix 1 and 2, and she created Terminator.
Yeah.
And she was trying, in her story, she was trying to show what the future was going to hold. And they took her idea from her, they spun
No
it.
credit, yeah, nothing.
Yeah, took the credit, they didn't give her no fucking money, which is
Okay.
fucking awful.
Yeah.
And just like Lion King. Lion King was stolen from China. And the original cartoon was called White Lion.
Yeah, just give people that credit, bro. Give credit where credit is due. Like,
Well, you know how these colonizers are. They just be stealing shit. You know what I mean? It's what they do.
no, bro. All right, guys, we'll be right back. We're about to head into the midtime break. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
Oh, boom. Sophia Stewart wrote books in the 70s that were stolen from her by Warner Brothers. Terminator 1 through 4 and The Matrix 1 and 2. Her lawsuit took 30 years. She didn't win. I think she's on the verge of winning, but it's supposed to be $2.5 billion.
Yeah, that's wild. Welcome back. Imagine coming back to $2.5 billion after fighting for such a... What would you do with $2.5 billion? First thing you're doing.
Obviously, the first thing is I have to take care of my family first.
Yeah.
And then the second thing that I would do is go to Africa, especially into Benin, Africa, because that's where my DNA was created and I originated there. That's where the artists live at in Benin, next to Togo. I will go there, and my goal has always been that by 45, I wanted to create self-sustaining community that doesn't rely on money, only relies on a skill set. So for example, if you're an electrician, you're gonna have to do the electricity to everybody's there, but you get a nice ass house.
Yeah.
If you're a plumber, you have to do the plumbing, but you're gonna have to do everybody's plumbing.
Yeah.
You get a house.
Yeah, I know.
And if you're a farmer, you get to farm. You're gonna get a nice house, but you have to farm to feed the people in the area.
Like, you'll be set based off your occupation. Like,
Yeah,
I know
that's it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
All solar, electric ran, and all that, so you don't depend. Clean water. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to put a nice community to help people out.
Kind of like how the military is, like, how they help out, like, with the gas and stuff like that. I don't know if they give them housing necessarily, but, like, they chip in as much as they can on it. So, like, something like that definitely would be cool.
Yeah.
Especially for, like, what would it be called? First responders? Not first responders, because not a farmer, be a first responder. It's more EMT. Shout out Meg.
Yeah. Shout out to Meg, yo. She's literally behind us in
No,
the other room.
Yeah, how are we looking on the piercing station? I'm excited for that, John.
On what?
On the piercing station. I think John's almost done with his apprenticeship now. He's not here with us right now. I think he's next door checking people in.
Yeah, he
Stuff
should
on-
be done with his apprentice pretty soon.
Yeah.
His apprenticeship. We're gonna open this place up where we're doing the podcast. Obviously, it takes some capital,
Yeah.
but my wife and I have invested substantially in the Philadelphia Tattoo Convention, from merch to the booth to Airbnb to food for everybody. Because at the end of the day, we take care of our people. You know what I mean? So yeah. So things are a little bit slow on the progressive side. And then we're also in Old Bridge Township, which they can be a little bit difficult as far as zoning and building department and inspectors. And right now they have a lot of projects going on, from building to huge commercial.
Yeah. That's actually one story I never really heard you talk too much about. I know that you said you had to kind of sign the contract in one town just so you could have it be here. What was the process of getting it in this township? Why'd you pick?
Well, this is the thing. I was in Union City, and obviously in my previous podcast, my interview with my wife, I pointed at the screen and I mentioned Brian Stacks, which was the mayor of Union City, and he didn't allow us to open because he didn't want his city to be tarnished, and I knew exactly what that meant, right? So we were there for 3 or 4 years, and my wife and I decided to move. So we had a lot of people that were saying, you guys should move down here, but we didn't know nothing about this area. So my wife and I started checking the demographics of the town and the city around us, and the household income is $150,000 to $250,000 a year. So we're like, okay, we're gonna make some serious money down here if we open up. So we started looking for places, and we stumbled up on this place, which is in Mattawan, right? Yeah. So we come here and we look at the place. I love it. It was huge. I'm like, damn, the potential behind this is gonna be freaking awesome. We need to sign it. So I signed a 10-year lease for this place because it was in Mattawan. The price was awesome. Everything was working to my favor, right?
So the location was very planned. It wasn't just all right, we gotta hit on this shop. Let's go open up here and just get a shop.
Yeah, no, we were gonna get another place down, I don't know, by East Brunswick or some shit, and then across the street next to the Park Plaza, we were gonna get that spot, which was bigger than this one, and then we saw this one.
Axe place? You talking about in the plaza or
Yeah, I think the Axe place or next to the Axe place. So we're gonna take that, and then we saw this one. We're like, you know what? I like this one because it's more secluded. It's in the back. We got a little yard in the front.
Yeah.
Anyway, I signed the 10-year lease. So when we go to zoning is like, the zoning for that spot is in Old Bridge. So my address is Mattawan, and the zoning is Old Bridge. So the back door to my shop where I tattoo, that's Mattawan, and the front door is Old Bridge. So what happened was, when we go, they're like, we don't allow tattooing in Old Bridge. And our jaws drop because wait a minute, we just signed a 10-year lease. What do you mean?
I was gonna ask you that too. I know you said Union City, they gave you a hard time because of the mayor. I was gonna ask, was Mattawan, Old Bridge kind of the same thing with the tattooing?
Yes and no, but Old Bridge, the situation was they haven't had a shop open up in such a long time that they became uneducated with the tattoo industry. Yeah. So when they had me on trial with my case with the 13 council, the mayor was there, the chief of police was there, and I'm sitting there by myself, and everybody's questioning me, from the mayor to fucking all the 13 councils, of why I want to open up here, why don't I go to Mattawan, why don't I go to Keyport, why don't I go to the surrounding towns? Yeah. And I'm like, because the majority of my clients live in Old Bridge. So they wanted to know my credentials, which is something that they shouldn't ask because I'm just trying to open up a business. They should just ask about basically what kind of business, location, is the noise level going to be too high? These things that they're supposed to ask you, but they literally asked me my credentials, where I come from, where I used to live at, my parents' name, what school I used to go to, where I used to work at.
Whole backstory.
Yeah, but straight up, they were looking at me like I'm a straight nigga because I came from fucking Newark, and that's all they saw. But when I opened my mouth and they seen how educated I was, they didn't have nothing else to say. Yeah. So they didn't have no answers. They just had a whole bunch of questions that I could answer perfectly. And when they couldn't find anything else on me, the only black member in the council, he was the first one that raised his hand. He was like, I'm all for him opening up a tattoo shop. It brings youth and brings whatever. And then the rest of them, they all looked at each other like they didn't want to do it. Yeah. But you know what?
The town has to love what the shop has brought to the town.
Yeah, dude.
I went to I don't know how big Madawan is, but for someone who came from, I would say, a somewhat bigger town, a township, we don't have like a walled township day. Like we have our fair, but they have like an actual Madawan day, like because it is like Old Bridge Madawan, like you said, it's very close. So they have like Madawan day. Yo, the booth. I went there to go take pictures and record everything. The booth was filled like majority of the time. Like we probably had like a 5-10 minute break where it like died out, and then it would fill just back up because everyone wanted to know what Chakra was. They've heard about Chakra, they've seen it on the Instagram. So I definitely gotta say the mayor has to like look back on the decision, and that whole council and be like, all right, we kind of
like not only that, man. Like we donate to the police officers. We fucking donate to the basketball program, the baseball program. Like we buy kids their basketball outfits when parents can't afford it. We pay for that shit.
I was gonna say, I think when I first got here, I saw you guys were sponsoring the baseball team.
Yeah, we contribute a lot to this town. We contribute a lot to Madawan as well. So,
would you guys be able to take like a quick break in the next 5-10 minutes?
a break?
Yeah, so I could steal you. One of Rogo's conversation still showed up even though, so at least if he's here, if you could just talk to him and try to give him a quote or talk to him.
Yeah, we can give it a break. We can give it a cut.
Right.
I mean, we wouldn't be able to come back.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we'd be able to stop and come
Who
back.
is the guy? I don't even know him.
We'd be able to stop and come back, I think.
When is Rogo coming in?
Next week, when he's allowed to come back and leave El Salvador. So we called and emailed, and he still showed up. So
yeah, that movie's funny. And I think it's just funny that his name is Rogo and he's from Salvador too. The babysitting movie.
Oh shit. Oh fucking
Rodrigo.
With the fucking ball.
Hi.
Yeah.
I have a consultation. I saw from Rodrigo, who came all the way from I don't know where, saying that John told him he can come in.
which
So-
definitely didn't because I heard him on the phone yesterday. But
Alright.
Take a pause.
yeah.
So this is on. I gotta handle
So I
this.
needed to
We'll
do
be
a
back.
consultation.
Alright, we'll be back soon. So we got. Let's do. I don't know.
Got like 15 minutes left. You want to?
Yeah, because I want to start the other videos.
Yeah, no, you can get those on. Yeah, what, 17, right?
Yeah, I have like 17 videos I have to record.
Yeah.
Not saying that we're gonna do all of them today, cause. But let's see how fast I can do them.
Yeah,
Without doing
let's
cuts
go
and all
through.
that
Yeah, let's go through.
Mhm.
Listen. You got me for the day if you need.
All right. So
We're back. How was your console?
The consultation was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Doing it for the team.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't your console, but you know you had to step in when you had to.
It was not my consultation. Still did it. Because Rodrigo right now is in El Salvador with COVID, so they don't want to let him back in the United States without him testing negative. So he most likely is gonna be here next week. This COVID shit is already like, I'm done with it.
Yeah,
I don't care no more.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I saw a meme the other day. It was like, yeah, this is the longest 2-month quarantine ever. I was like, no. That's literally what they said. They're like, yo, it's gonna be a 2-month quarantine, and then it's for over like 3 months, and then 4. Like maybe like 2 days ago is when I had like that whole like, yo, once COVID struck, bro. It was
Remember
like,
that first time?
That's what
6
I'm
months,
saying. That,
right?
like that's when I had that thought of like, yo, this shit was supposed to last only like
Was
3
it?
or 4.
We were like 6
months. Yeah,
Was it 6 months?
It was a 6-month
When
quarantine.
everybody's quarantined?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's when I had like the moment of, bro, this is only supposed to go on for 2-3 months, and we're 2 years, bro. Like,
They have all these fucking different variants now. They do talking about
Amaria.
No, they have the Flurona. Have you seen this shit? That now you can get Flurona and the flu at the same time.
Call this shit the Flurona, bro.
And it's like, like how?
Wow, bro.
How?
That's wild.
Yeah.
Shout out John. John's here now. Got me from Starbucks. What do you want to talk about before we head out for today?
Not really much, man. I haven't been on social media, so I don't know what's been going
Yeah, what's
on.
popping off? Neither have I.
Yeah, because I've been busy either tattooing or painting,
Yeah.
taking care of my family.
Yeah.
So I've been off social media.
I feel like we both have the productive itch right now. Like we're just trying to get so much stuff done and shit that now we're not even like worried about what's going on around us. Like we're
Yeah,
stuck
and
out,
it's funny
stuck
because
out,
in order for us to produce more, we have to be part of the media
yeah,
and the
Yeah,
social
yeah.
life to know what we're going to talk about.
exactly, which is wild.
Because now we're just stumbling on words and we don't know what we're saying.
Trying to think of like what we're gonna talk about.
He spun his drains like, yeah, John, just keep it, because he had nothing else to say, you know what I mean?
For real. But hard work definitely pays off. Speaking of the media, one thing I did see on Instagram, a quote that I really liked. I don't remember the first part of it, but the second too much. But the second part of it definitely hit. He said, "You can get to the point where when you can pop tags off clothes without looking at the price, is when the moment you can work without looking at the clock." And I was like, yo, that part right there, the moment you can work without looking at the clock is so big. Like, my biggest quote for me when I first started off on this whole entrepreneur photography thing was, don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're finished. Because there were so many projects that I had. Because I was a freelancer, I'd have like 2 or 3 people I'd have to get to stuff in a week. I'm tired, bro. Like, these videos take a little bit longer than the edit, especially back then. Yo, Chakra's got me so much faster. Appreciate them 1,000 times for that. Because I used to,
Yeah.
bro. When I first got here, the videos that I put up now on Instagram probably took me like an hour, 2 hours. I mean, I could probably not bang it out, but I can get a good video in like 30 minutes now.
Yeah,
like
now your process have like
it's definitely sped up a lot,
definitely.
A lot more.
This is a nice quote. Time is the only currency you can spend once, so spend it wisely.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts, bro. That's fact.
So take advantage of time, man. Because by the time you know it, like, look, one time we were 5 years old, and we were never think that we would be this age, and now we are, and all you can remember is when you were 5. So imagine the you at 45 or 50. Yeah. So make sure you do everything you want to.
Time flies, bro. Yeah. There's a little bit no regrets. That's why this year my New Year's resolution was no excuses, just because literally time is of the essence. Like,
there shouldn't be any excuses towards anybody. When people be like, "Oh yeah, I have a plan B," that you just said your plan A failed.
Yeah, exactly. You literally, like you said, Flood, you put it out the way before it even started. Like, you're already putting it down.
That's it. Like, I'm 37. I'm extremely tired from not only tattooing 15 years, but going home and painting now for the past week or so. I have a family. There's a work-life balance that I have to keep constantly. Yeah. That's very difficult, being that I have 6 little kids in the house that require time and affection and all that. I have a wife as well. We have animals. We have employees. So in order to balance everything, you need to be strong-minded and just forget the fact that things are painful. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, you're trying to work for the better version of you.
Just like a tattoo, man. That pain is temporary, bro.
It's temporary,
you
bro.
You get through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely when you said the tattooing for 15 years, I feel like some people don't understand that. Like, I kind of am just now myself starting to get that. Like, there was really a point in time, like, if you guys haven't seen the owner's interview, you need to go watch that. It's on YouTube right now. Make sure you head over to the YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. In that interview, him and Sarah talked about a part where every single day, 3 years straight, they were working outside the shop in Union City with the kids. That story in itself, if you haven't seen that interview, you have to go see it now, because that one, that lit a fire under me. Literally, like, the day after that, I was telling them about it too. I had a dinner meeting with my team. Shout out Mixbox. Love all those guys. I couldn't do anything I do now without them, because I'm here. I want to put in the time and effort here at Chakra, because they have honestly given me so much and gave me so much opportunities. I got to pay it back and pay it forward. So shouts out to Mixbox, they helped me out a lot. But I literally played that clip of their interview for them, and literally like 2 or 3 people like got up out of the scene, like, yo, like, let's go, like, I'm ready to work. That shit, that was powerful, bro. Like, that was like, you see, every single day, bro. Not a question, not a doubt in your mind. 3 years straight, bro. 360, like,
yo, you know what that?
You got it, bro. Like, you might not think about it now because you've done it already. Like, it's in the past for you. But for someone who, like, I just met you 6 months ago. Yeah. So when I hear that, I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, I have no excuses. That's why I have no excuses.
There is none, yo. So when I have other
employee,
or even a client making an excuse, even my kids, I'm looking at them like, based on how much I did in a 24-hour span, I know how much you can do. So if you have an excuse, come on, man, that's just another way for you to say, I really don't want to do it, because, you know what I'm saying, I like hanging out a little bit more, and it's like, nah, bro. Like, don't, stop complaining for the people that have all these great things, like, damn, I want this car. Well, how the fuck you think it's gonna, how do you think, listen, your car and your mansion and all that, it's already there for you. It's just, it's waiting for you.
Yeah, for real.
It's waiting for you. You just have to put in the time and effort. And it's already there. It's just waiting for you. Where you at?
That's,
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
That's like the Nardwar interview I saw the other day. They're cool. It's like resurfacing on Instagram right now, where he was like, when I was broken, I had negatives in my bank account. I saw millions. I saw my house. I saw the cars, because I knew I was going to get there. It was just a matter of time, and I had to put in the work and effort. I forgot the one bar that he said. I think it was like, I'm not trying to sit here and chill. I'm trying to go get a meal. Something like that. Like you literally just said, don't sit and hang around, bro. If you want something, you got to go out and get it. It's not going to fucking come to you. Manifestation only works if you work on it too, bro. Like, you got to... If you have a dream, you got goals in life, you gotta go get it, bro.
Manifestation is key, yo, and you need to have a vision board. It is what it is, because all these ideas and dreams that you have are just that. They're gonna stay as a dream or an idea. But the first level of manifestation is a vision board, where you bring everything you have in your mind and you physically put it on a board by cutouts. So every day that you wake up, you get to see your dream and you get to see your ideas literally in front of you. And when you're not working towards it, for some strange reason, it's almost like the vision board takes an entity of its own, where it mocks you. When you wake up and you don't want to work towards it, it says, I thought you were going to work for me. I thought you were going to work towards this, and that. So it kind of brings you back to, okay, we got to get on, in line again. So
I definitely want to try the vision board this year. For me, like, before any of this started, journaling was big for me. That was really how I got a lot of my ideas out, like, on paper. And that started, like, during quarantine, where, like, I had so many thoughts of how I can start my brand, what to do with my brand, but I didn't know what to do because it was just all stuck in my head. You think of it one day, you wake up the next morning, you forget. So I was like, all right, bro, like, pen and paper. That was every single day. I was just writing out all ideas. So this year, I definitely do want to try the vision board and see how that works out.
It works,
like,
man.
Seeing, literally visualizing what you want. So I'm definitely
because sometimes we have other ideas that come into play, people talking on us, they're giving us their idea, and we kind of forget our own. And it's important to realize that your ideas comes first, because you're creating your own universe around you. You know what I'm saying? So when shit goes bad, it's because of you, man. Like last night, I was painting all night. You know what my wife was doing? She put in a book for us to hear about branding and business structure and all that. And it's pretty dope, because we're doing two things at once. As I'm producing, she's creating the ideas that we need in order for us to move forward with the production. You know what I mean? So
I was gonna say, just think of that. Like, take a step back and sit from a different standpoint of that. Like, from my eyes, their business is amazing. They're running smoothly. This is doing great for them, but yet they're still learning every single day. Like, you guys took the time to listen to that book, but you guys aren't stopping. You aren't satisfied. You want more, so you can get more. I think that's a good place to end. We do only have a little bit of time left anyway. We also have some videos to record. I don't know if you want to mention that in a little bit before we go, because I know it's coming soon. It's coming soon. Shout out to the new year.
We're doing an online course for those beginner people that are trying to start their tattoo career and don't know where to start, where to go, what to do, how much things are worth. So I'm doing a whole entire curriculum. My wife and I, we're putting it together, and we're gonna break down the tattoo industry step by step, from speaking to a client to pricing. So it's gonna be pretty amazing. It's gonna be pretty awesome, and I'm looking forward to people looking at the seminar and actually learning from it. Because we're trying to produce a group of professionals here. So
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
But it's not Monday, but motivation, you can find it here on Chakra OutLoud, where we say what we want and you don't get upset.
Yeah, and remember, subscribe, hit the subscribe button right here on the left side, the little red subscribe button right there.
Put it right here.
And make sure you, it's actually on your side, right?
Nah, I put it right here. We'll put it right here.
Oh yeah, it's right
Oh,
here,
we
right?
put it right here.
Yeah.
We're here.
So, and definitely hit the like button, because it lets the algorithm know that we exist, we're here, and you like our stuff. So,
from us to you.
dun 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 dun
Dun dun dun dun dun dun dun.
Hey,
Chakra OutLoud. We're gonna make a song for this one day.
Yeah.
Drop mic.